grapes, they just make your mouth water. They're such a wonderful, wonderful fruit. They're very portable, and they're very nutritious. They have high in potassium. They're also high with some iron in them. Grapes arrived in the United States in 1616. Lord Baltimore brought them over from Europe, and they didn't catch on though, and they didn't grow really well here until they got out west in California. But before we get on how to take care of and how to prepare the grapes, I want to show you the diversity of being able to buy grape juice. Here, basically the grapes are divided into white and red. The green ones are, when they get to be something else, are called white grapes, and the other ones are called red grapes. This is white grape juice, 100% grape juice. Great way to store it, keep it up. This is the red grapes made into grape juice. And then you can find them also mixed with other juice, like this one is mixed with cranberries. And the grape juice is one of the, along with apple juice, the one that's behind a lot of the other fruit juices that you can buy on the shelf. And then you can buy frozen or in the can, the 100% grape juice, the one that we're really all familiar with, the purple drink. I like to buy the stuff that comes on the juice that comes on the shelf, because then I don't have to freeze it, and it's always available, and you dilute it the same as if it was frozen. And then this is the thing for parties, is to get the sparkling grape juice. It comes in white juice or red juice, and this one is red, because one of the things that grapes are used a lot for is to make wines all around the world. Grapes are one of the oldest fruits that we know about. So that's the drinks. Now, the other thing that happens to grapes if they dry them out is they make raisins. So we have white raisins and red raisins, because we have white grapes and we have red grapes. And what they do is they take grapes and they dry them. And actually, I hear the story, the rumor is that somebody kind of forgot to take the grapes in off the field, and they kind of shriveled up and they ate them and they were delicious. So there started the raisins. So I was going to show you what happens to the grape as it dries. I have to say that these are my favorite. They're called golden raisins, and these are my favorite. And when you look at them, you can see that they look just like little tiny dried up grapes. Now you can reconstitute these by putting warm water on them, and then they would plump back up. They won't be the same as having a grape, but they will be able to be used in recipes. Or you can mix this, you can put this in someone's lunch along with the cheese stick, and you've got the real partners are grapes and cheese. And this is a great way to send it to with the kids to school. You can also get the grapes in little boxes that are individually wrapped for lunches. Great resource. It's much easier to ship, much easier to store. So this is my favorite raisin. So now let's get on to the fresh grapes. As you can see, fresh grapes come in a variety of colors. And you know, they all taste pretty much like grapes. Some are a little sweeter than others. This is the dark one that they call the purple grape. When I bought this, they said it was a red grape. And this they called the green grape. The green grapes are actually a little tartar than the red ones usually. Some people say the red ones are the only ones that are really good for you, but that's not true. They pretty much have the same characters. Now, nutrition-wise, they're high in iron and potassium. Now, there are flavonoids that are in the red grapes that some people believe are more than in the green grapes. But that's the nutrition. That's a very good thing for you. That's the reason why some people drink their glass of wine a day. Now, when you're looking for grapes, you want to be sure that they're firm and shiny. See how these are firm? They're not wrinkled up. These the same way. They're different shapes. Some are more oblong, as these are really oblong. These are kind of oblong, and these are pretty much round. But you just want to be sure that they're, you know, not shriveled up at all. Now, you'll notice there's this white stuff on them. All of them have it. It's hard to see on the green ones, but it's called bloom, and that actually helps keep the grape fresh and keep it from dehydrating too fast. So you do want to find them with those on it, and it's nothing wrong with the grape when you see that. Now, the really hard part to look at is the stems that they are growing on. And if you see this one, isn't that gorgeous? This is where they cut it off the plant, and that is a real bunch of grapes. Now, this one, as you can see, still has the green stem. It is very pliable. I mean, I can move it and it doesn't break. That is a really nice bunch of grapes. They haven't been off the vine very long. Now this bunch, I got it because it's kind of drying out. As you can see, the little pieces are really shriveled up, and that feels really hard to my hand. And they're not as green. The vines are not as green, nor are they as pliable. This just feels like it would really want to break. And if you'll notice, there's quite a few grapes missing off of the little stems. They are shriveling up, and that's what makes the grapes fall, is that the stems shrivel. It's not the grapes getting heavy. So this one is it's okay, but it's not perfect. And then this one is a lot harder to tell. I always find that doing green grapes is hard because they are green. But in the middle, you can see there is a green stem. It is flexible, it does move. So these would be good to buy. Now, if they're really brown inside and really shriveled up stems, don't buy them. Now, if you get a good sale, buy a lot of them. And then what you do, put them on a tray, singly, just take them off after you've rinsed them off, and get them all on the tray so you can freeze them just like this. They make great little popsicles. They make great ice cubes for your drinks. And then the best thing to do with grapes is eat them all the time. 8 grapes are wonderful. And then if you wanted to, if it's kind of hard and you want to send little bunches to school, you want to take little bunches at parties, you take your scissors and snip them. And then that makes them into little bunches. And then you can snip off like this little guy who's not very good. So that makes your little bunches. You do want to take them off the stems though to freeze them. And after you've had them frozen, then you put them into the plastic bags and you keep them in the freezer until you want to use some. And they get pretty hard, but they're not as hard as other fruits because they have so much sugar in them that the ones that have a lot of sugar don't want to freeze as hard as others. Okay, the other thing to think about is that you can actually cook with grapes. One of my best recipes is I take a piece of fish, I lay it here and I put a little bunch of grapes on it and fold them up into a little package, and I stick them into the oven for about a half hour, and that becomes one of the best recipes you can have for fish. So go to my website. I have a lot more information about grapes and the way to use them in cooking, which is not a lot of people do that. Thanks for being here.